going on? We got a Ultimate Gohan guide here, and we're gonna first take a look at the kit. So here we have his passive. You can't win. Stagger and weaken an enemy hero. Applies a stack to an enemy hero on hit. When stacks are maxed out, target becomes a break target, and any damage dealt staggers them, applying physical defense down and energy defense down. Rush attacks and skills, super attacks excluded, have a moderate effect, with super attacks having a greater effect. Okay, so basically, you're gonna be able to apply a stack on the enemy, right? Each move that you're gonna do is gonna apply one stack. On that third stack, if you hit them either with an ability or with an attack, it will stun them. So you could get some pretty good combos in if done correctly. Alright, so that's his passive. Rush attack. It gets increased damage against break targets. So similar to hit, where you're hitting them with a basic attack after being invisible, you're gonna do extra damage. Same with Gohan, when you get that second stack and you hit him for that third hit, your basic attack is gonna do more damage, right? Okay, so we got the skill 1 here, the Jack Blast. It unleashes a strike in a set direction, applies a stack to enemy heroes on hit, re-entering the command within a certain time window and unleashes an energy wave, pushing away enemies and dealing extra damage. Applies further stacks to enemy heroes struck. The closer an enemy is, the further the pushback. Activating this skill after Power Unleash increases pushback even further and applies movement speed down to enemy hero struck. So we're going to get into the last part of that with the increase pushback after Power Unleash. We'll get into that after. But for right now, basically, it's going to do it's going to do a little area, boom, right there. And then the second one is going to push. So he gets to put 2 stacks on people, and then you can basic attack them right after that. Also, you have a push. It's good to push them away if you need to move an enemy away from your team or move an enemy towards your team. Next move, skill 2, rolling hammer, an unavoidable attack that warps to your target's location and forcibly moves them in the direction you warped from. Generates a shockwave on hit, dealing additional damage to non-target enemies. Applies a stack to enemy heroes on hit, staggers and deals extra damage to targets knocked into a wall or other heroes. Activating this skill after potential unleashed will send the target struck flying on hit. Enemy struck by the shockwave will be forcibly moved, and extra damage dealt to targets knocked into a wall or other heroes will be increased. Okay. So, like I said, we'll get to that last part when we get to the third skill. But basically, he's gonna be able to jump straight to them and kick them where he came from. Now, if you can line that up where you have a wall behind him or even an enemy behind him, you can kick them into him, and that'll stun him as well. So you can get really crafty with the combos. This will put 1 stack on him. So you could just think of all the crazy combos you could do with applying the 2 stacks on there, stunning him, kicking him into a wall. He has another stack. You got your R1 back. You hit him again. It's a lot of comboing with Gohan. So skill 3, Power Unleash. Unleash a shockwave around yourself. Applying flee to enemies. Applies a stack to enemy heroes on hit. Within a set window after this skill's activation, Jack Blast and Rolling Hammer will be enhanced and usable even mid cooldown. The first hit of other skills activated following this will add further stacks to enemy heroes. So you activate this, and it is a flee. It'll make anybody in that area have to run away from you, unless there's no obstruction, of course. Switch is really good. It helps in fights, helps to get somebody off you, get teams off you, get somebody off of your partner. And it's going to also allow you to then use one of your other 2 skills again. So if I went Jack Blast and then I used Power Unleash, I would be able to use Jack Blast again. And not only that, it will increase the stacks, put more stacks on them. It'll push them back further, and it'll apply movement speed down. So it'll be that much better. And with the rolling hammer after power unleashed, it's gonna allow you to kick them quicker, do extra damage if you hit them into a wall or a hero. So it's really situational. You might want to use power unleash and then go with the jack blast. Sometimes you might want to power unleash and then you go with the rolling hammer. We'll see some clips and see. Sometimes I do one, sometimes I do the other. Okay. And then the super attack, mock break. Warp to the target location and unleash a flurry of attacks while moving at high speed. The first hit to enemy heroes applies a stack to them, can move while attacking, generates a shockwave following the flurry, staggering enemy heroes with stacks, and applying flee to enemies without stacks. Okay. So it's a real good damage. It does a lot more damage to a single target than it does to multiple people. It'll spread the damage out between multiple targets versus if it was just one. It also adds stacks, and if it staggered them within that and they lose the stacks, it'll actually apply the flee to them at the end of it right there. Boom, as you see him fleeing away. So it's a pretty good ult, does some pretty good damage. I think it's better used to kind of just secure a kill on a 1v1 that maybe you might not win as a technical against maybe an attack or something, but then you pull the ult out and it'll win you that fight. But that's basically it for his moves, and then I will get into the combos. All right. Before we get into the combos, I just want to get into the cards I use really quick. So I use the Genshin High, Art of Decoy, and Defense Step. Basically, I'm going to be able to hit the tower with more of my Genshin verse. The first card, second card is going to allow me to get a boost to movement speed, and it reduces the cooldown on your Vanish Step. And then the defensive step, that's going to allow you to take more damage after every time you Vanish Step. So it's a pretty good combo. So here's a clip slowed down of some of the combos. So first, I'm going to try to get him in between the wall and me, so that way when I kick him, I get that first stun. I apply 2 my R1 stacks, that applies another stun. Then when I flee him here, I'm able to get my kick back, kick him into the wall. He has 2 stacks again. I hit him again for another stun. You can just stun after stun after stun if you can play the wall properly and play your cooldowns properly. It's insane. As you can see, he's good at securing the kills. Get him with the stun him again, and he's already 1 hit left, and
Oh my
who
god.
can just finish him off? He's just very
Nice.
good at keeping people in place. Like look at Gohan here. He's crowd controlled every second. He can't even react. He couldn't do anything. He was just guaranteed to die there. And the cool part too is
Keep going.
even 1v1s. You see right after that, Bojack tries to test me. He thinks, oh, because he's an attack, I'm a technical, he
Better
could
back
beat
up.
me in this fight. And literally am able to finesse him through all the technical skill that Gohan can
Better
provide.
back.
And of course, got to show off the ult. His ultimate is crazy, especially if it's a single target. Look at that. Completely saves my life. Completely takes Bojack's life. It's just it's great to low key save your own life. So overall, Ultimate Gohan, I would argue, is the best technical. Some may say maybe top three, but he's definitely up there. I mean, with all the crowd control he provides with all of his kit, the damage from his super attack, and just being able to keep the enemies in the fight, preventing them from being able to escape. And also, if you used your cooldowns properly, be able to escape yourself. I just think makes him the best technical in the game. Being able to 1v1 an attack if you play it properly is just insane. So I hope you like the video and I hope you got some information that'll help you get better at Ultimate Gohan. Also, I have more Ultimate Gohan gameplay. Feel free to take a look at that and you might be able to learn a little bit more by just watching some more gameplay. But other than that, thanks again for watching and like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.